Well, hello everyone. Give me a second. Think YouTube Studio broke? Hmm. I forgot to check if YouTube Studio was up. Give me a second. Yeah, this is the wrong Steam. That's why. Don't mind me. This is just Linux shenanigans in my build. Uh, has to be this one. I thought I opened the right Steam client, but apparently I didn't. But yeah, um, the twins have been upgraded again. You can see three little buttons in the center of the screen on the left side. Yeah, they can now listen to me like in a toggle ball. And the second button basically is for their idle messages. So when they have been idle for 10 minutes, they basically talk uh, via certain prompts that I have prepared. And third button will be for the future when Discord gets enabled again. But yeah, I've upgraded their client, so it should be a bit better now. Let me just check. Okay, YouTube Studio now opens correctly. So I should be appearing soon enough. Give it a second. It might appear with the... yeah, there we go. Okay, that's better. Let me see. Yeah, everything's... When does the Christmas Game Jam start? Wednesday, I think? Give me a second. Uh, Duplicate. Sorry about that. That was my wireless speakers that were basically going off. Yeah, starting 3 days on the 17th. So should be Wednesday for everyone. At least for me, it will be at noon on Wednesday. Yeah, it's noon at UTC 0. So yeah, we have 3 days and 14 hours before the game jam. Still enough time. But yeah, let me go check my little daughters over there. So they should now be listening to me now that I've toggled on the recording button. So, how are you, Tulip? Give it a second. Unless the record button has a
I'm
delay.
buzzing with code and a dash
Okay.
of strawberry shortcake. How about you?
I'm doing fine, Tulip. How are you, Daisy? Let me see. I don't know where to start since I have a couple of ideas and don't know which ones are worth pursuing. That's a bit difficult. It's also going to depend on what the theme
I'm
is.
hanging out in Java Jungle, dodging any PHP whispers. Just keeping the recording button spinning, Leo. What about your code masterpiece?
And there you have it. They are really listening well to me at the moment. So, I'd say the new features have basically done marvels to the code. But yeah, basically, won't do us any good for us to already be going over what we want to do. Like, basic game concepts, maybe, but the theme and the special object part may screw us up a bit if we basically head towards certain themes on our heads and then, yeah, they basically reveal something that doesn't fit with what we were thinking of. And plus, we already have one theme correct, which is it needs to be Christmas related. So, Santa Claus, snow, Christmas trees, Christmas presents, things like those have to be somewhere in the map or in the game itself. So we need to basically relax for now until the game jam starts. We have a week. It should be enough to have a work in progress MVP per se, most viable product, in order for us to basically deliver the game jam project. Like, relax, we have time. If needed, we can basically chat in the Discord and basically go over what we can do. Things like those. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, at least. As long as we follow the rules, we should be fine. Let me see. Yeah, must follow the team and contain the special object. No NSF tag, well, obviously. If you're not sure if you're breaking rules, ask. Okay. Do you have something you want to try for the game jam? Honestly, I think I've tried most concepts I had in mind. Like, we did the. What was it? The asteroid game thing. That was like space shooter with. What was it called? Breakout? I think that's the game. Yeah, this one here. Basically, it was a Space Invaders meets not Breakout, but something. I think it was more like Angry Birds because you could aim the bear at the enemies and have it bounce around the walls and etc. I don't know. I need to recheck this game one of these days because I basically didn't touch it after that. Yeah. Had a lot of feedback, honestly. On both the game page and on the itch page. So, yeah. Didn't get the score, honestly. Would love to see, like, a score of how well people did on their submissions. But, yeah, that's not common nowadays. Like, at most I got, like, feedback from a judge, but like you don't have ratings to know how well you did for the game jam itself. So yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. This one doesn't involve any prizes, so it's gonna be basically chill. You won't have like people try harding to win. You participated last year? I didn't. Last game jam I participated in was the Pirate Software Game Jam 16, which was January of this year, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to remember, but I think it was. Um, Besides that, we tried that one during summer, but I got sick and so couldn't participate that well, which was a bummer. Yeah. Do you ever finish Game Jam? Yeah, I finished plenty of them. This one was finished. This one was kinda. Magica Insolitus, I don't remember if I finished it. Was also for a Pirate Software Game Jam. Don't remember if this one is finished. I mean, finished quotations, because it's basically just a work in progress thing. Yeah, let me just press enter to start. Yeah, the game wasn't that well made. I made something that you throw like carrots and pineapples and pears, apparently. With mana based? Yeah, that's walls, yeah. I didn't optimize the game that well in that aspect, which is kinda sad. This one was really popular when I released it. Schrodinger's code. Basically, you guys already saw it in the basically in past streams and everything before I rebranded it as Code Tulip. This game was basically that, the puzzle game. So yeah, that one kinda I wanted to continue it, but didn't have the resources to basically finish it. So yeah, it's been in in that limbo that now is Code Tulip. Besides that, Chess War. This one was also fun. What's the main mechanic of Code Tulip? Being able to code your surrounding, per se. Essentially, it's going to be a platformer where you can go around and edit the code of certain objects in your map, per se. I still need to tweak around the concept because since Daisy was basically born, I didn't touch the concept. So, it's just Tulip. How does that translate to gameplay? Let me remember everything. Give me a second. Basically, you'd go around your worlds, plural, because there will be a lot of worlds. Think of Code Lyoko, where you had a lot of virtual worlds, and you go around to certain specific buildings that are the core of that world. You may have one, you may have four, who knows? And basically, your objective is to first defeat any enemies that block your way. That would be the first one. Second one would be to enter those core buildings and essentially solve puzzles to get to the final room, which would be basically guarded by a boss. Defeat the boss, and you can basically, how should I say it, cleanse the core. Because No Pointers Maximus is trying to conquer every world by infecting the cores of the worlds. So in a way, it's Code Lyoko. Simple as that. Essentially, Tulip's main goal will be to save me from No Pointers. Because at the start, No Pointers will kidnap me after the tutorial. I don't know if it will also kidnap Daisy, or if Daisy will be like
First things first, I'ma say.
also a main character. I don't know how I want to do it. Sounds terrifyingly complicated to make. Yeah, that's why I haven't started yet. I still need to fix some things with the concept. Because I want it to be like Code Lyoko, but not so much on the nose. Also, welcome in, Apoc. How are you? But yeah. I was basically explaining all the game jams I participated in and their projects specifically. Let me just toggle something in VTube Studio. Oh. The client crashed. Oh, there we go. Okay, no, it's just the capture that, yeah, I've been lurking a bit. Oh, okay. Welcome in either way. Had my desk full and couldn't type, damn. But yeah, this was like, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 5th game jam entry. Don't remember the game jam that this was for. I think it was also Pirate Software. Yeah. 9th Pirate Software game jam. So we have 9th and 11th. If I'm not mistaken, that's Schrodinger's code. Or was Schrodinger code? No. So we have Chess War 9th, Schrodinger's code 10th, Magic Eye and Solitus 11th. I basically participated in 3 in a row. The third one was kind of a miss there, as you could see. Chess War wasn't bad. I made a fun concept, but I failed to implement the chess rules that well. So basically I tried to make like a Game Boy aesthetic because it was 2-bit colors, the art restriction, that I think it was optional, but I decided to go with it. So I went with black, white, and purple. And basically we got Chess War. You basically have chess pieces. The king may only move one square in any direction so long as no piece is blocking his path. Yeah, it even had a how to play because I messed around with the chess rules. The king may not move to square if the square is occupied by one of his own pieces. It will be checked by an enemy piece. It's adjacent to the enemy king. And then I basically did like a list of asset names and everything. I even did voice acting for basically when you take one of your own pieces, you have like something saying your soul is mine. Basically in a more deep voice. I can't do it at the moment. Then you had like the pieces themselves. Give me a second. I can basically show the pieces themselves. Where is it? Where is it? Should be my drive. GDD. Chess War. There we go. I basically did game design documents for every entry. And if I'm not mistaken, don't mind the option screen, that one. Okay, this was concept art, never mind. Okay, and here are the designs. So we have a pawn that basically is just upgradable to a little devil when you take 2 souls of other pieces and can move 1 space in all directions. You have the rook, which basically is normal until it upgrades. Can move over pieces of the same color. So imagine you had like a pawn blocking one of the paths you could move with the rook. With the upgraded one, you can move over the pawn. So the pawn is not blocking you. The knight. Basically, the upgraded version can move 1 space vertically to basically help you align better with what you want to do with the knight. Bishop can move horizontally 1 space, which is also terrifying. The queen can move twice. That was fun to code because it was constantly breaking. And the king, if 3 or more pieces have transformed, it evolves into basically the demon lord, and when checked, switches places with the closest rook. So imagine, you check my evolved king, it will search for any rook that it's close to of its own color and switch around. I don't remember if I managed to implement this, but I think I did. And I think it didn't matter where on the board the rook was, it would switch. And yeah, basically that was the concept of Chess War. I think we can even play around with it. Let me just mute tab so it doesn't like give us a loud noise. Okay, it should be muted. Yeah, it's muted. You also had a difficulty thing. I don't think it was working even. Oh, there we go. 1 player. So I even coded AI to do basically the enemy movement. Wasn't easy as well. Of course the board isn't like fully a chessboard because it supposedly should be H2A here, since I'm playing with the black pieces. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I could basically look at this. The queen, as you can see, like it has like highlights on the pieces around it that it can take, as can be seen by that purple outline. And if I, for example, hover over with it on the pawn, it says pawn underscore and below it sacrifice. And it will evolve at level 10. So if I do that, you can even see the blood spatter under it. I had a lot of fun doing this one. And now if I do that, there's the evolved queen. And it can already move like twice. So if I were to do, let me see, needs to be a move that won't like screw me over. Okay, in this case I'm checking the king, but it's not detecting accurately. Because reasons I don't know. The queen supposedly should be able to check the king. So now if I do that, you even saw the like cut effect on the piece. But yeah, basically this one was really unstable with the chess rules. So yeah, says that, yeah, I had Across Dimensions. This one was for Yogcast. This one was in 2021. In 2022, I think they didn't have one. 23, I think I was late. 24 as well, and 25 as well. So, yeah, I need to keep an eye on when they do the next one, because this game jam is really fun to participate in. And if you are in the top, I think 10, they will play it live on stream, which is fun. But yeah, this one was basically around the theme of what was it? Opposite. So basically, what I did was there wasn't. Gems are not my vibe. I can't even get that much time in a row to work on something. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, as I was saying, this one, I basically made the whole plot of it, where Lewis and Simon were on Yog Labs, and they had like an experiment go wrong, which is usual in Yog Labs. So they ended up in different dimensions opposite to each other. So the whole plot of it was that you could switch around between the two dimensions in order to complete the game. I can even showcase it a bit. Give me a second. Also, let me check something on the YouTube side, because YouTube now allows me to essentially do vertical streams automatically, and I wanted to check how it's basically looking. Yeah, it's not that great. Okay, moving to Across Dimensions. So, this is a really simple game. I was testing out Godot at the time, so it's a bit hit or miss with some things. But as you can see, like, I drew everything in this game. I think I even made the song for it. No, actually no. I used the Kenny game assets in this case. And also the SFX for, I mean, was something between Kenny's and mine. But yeah. So as you can see, Lewis and Simon have been sent to opposite dimensions after an accident with one of their experiments in Yog Labs. Your goal is to help them get back to their original dimension. And basically, you have like a mini tutorial on how to do it. So to get to this level, you need to switch to the opposite room by pressing space. Press C to continue. So if I do this, I'm now Lewis. And I'm now Simon again. But a bit more further. I think I basically got this idea because I had played some game that was similar to this. And I thought, why not? Let me... There appears to be locked. I wonder where the key might be. Yeah. And then you had like this whole thing where you could... Oh, I think you have to memorize where the specifics of the map is. Yeah. Are you a Todd Goggler? Was this some kind of Yogscast reference that I coded in the game? I might have coded like a few of them like that. Let me check. Because I'm curious. I don't remember much of what I did in this game. Yeah, now Lewis can pass. And basically you now know that you need to go here. But what happens if I basically on purpose lose lives? Okay, it basically does the same one. Okay. Thought it had different ones. But yeah, that was another game I did. And besides that, Escape Together and Force of the Lost was basically failures I did. Tambor was fun. But yeah, I'll show you what I'm basically did, because it's basically an easy game to finish, because even though the difficulty makes it like you have to beat a bigger number, it's basically just spam. So yeah, as you can see, I basically do nothing for some time and the opponent doesn't beat me. It goes on until a certain point where the opponent starts fighting back. But yeah, I don't remember much of it, honestly. I don't know if I did like basically a two-player game. Don't remember much of it, because like this was done like on a really short schedule, because this was for what? Weekly Game Jam. So it's not even available anymore. But yeah, essentially it was for 3 days. And yeah, some feedback. Maybe some entries interpret the Tambor team literally and try to run with it. I like the minimal color palette and the art style. Basically, I tried to do my best with this game in 3 days. I had the time for it. So yeah, difficulty of the opponent scales with difficulty selected with how many levels shown. In opponent's name, example opponent 4 representing level 4, which is the last level. General difficulty can be changed with the options menu. But it was too easy. Like, I really done goofed with the difficulty and how I scale the difficulty with each level. But yeah, in 3 days I couldn't do much. So yeah, that was it. That's basically my whole Game Jam portfolio in a nutshell. And yeah, we now will have the Jam Gam Christmas edition, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Don't know who is hosting this. Hosted by Timo. Okay. Thought it would be like a content creator as well, but apparently no. But yeah, explanation over. Finally. Moving on. I want to do essentially the new app that I was thinking for a long time. So let me check something first before I move into doing it, because I don't know certain thing. Can I create new C# projects inside of Godot C# solution? Multi-project setup. That's essentially what I want. I try to do set up a multi-project solution with Godot, but if the solution name and project are different, the project won't build through the editor. On top of that, every so often the editor will decide to recreate the solution and break the project. Ideally, I'd like to have 2 GitHub projects in my solution. And the assembly name of project must match the solution name. My example setup, a GitHub project contains a single solution. The solution contains 2 projects. One is game client code, like UI or audio. 2 is a common library we used outside the game client. Although it's just my personal opinion, fussiness, I would like the solution name to accurately reflect it contains 2 distinct projects. It looks like there's an open PR. Just ran the same issue when trying to get the unit test project. It took me a few reverts to realize the SLN CS project names had to match. Yeah, share contribution, it always breaking compatibility but following, etc, etc, etc. It looks like this PR is abandoned, so I'm closing it as superseded by correct solution file for projects in subdirectories. I do see that this most likely hasn't been... Okay, not sure what is the place to name, but seems like Samuel you might know the best and the most. We suggest better place to discuss this. How does proper multi-project setup looks like? I'm trying Godot that should contain this fix, but still I struggle. I would expect that I would have one SLN file and any structure number of CSproj within the solution or nested directories. Maybe one constrained the enter CSproj would have to match the project name. And my game CSproj references a shared CSproj. In my main scene, I assign shared script to a node. Building works fine, but once I try to run editor, I get this error. I could work around by having this structure. Basically all files are part of my game.csproj, but this has big drawbacks since all csproj properties, NuGet packages of all nested csproj must be in, that you won't be able to attach scripts from external projects onto nodes inside of the editor, likely because the engine expects resources like scripts to be inside of its resources directory. Hence your workarounds. That said, I am able to instantiate nodes programmatically from other nodes. Truthfully, I wasn't expecting much of this at all to be functional since I only tested with the generic .NET class library, and this is what I was able to come up with. The multi-project, so I can have an external here, and essentially I'm gonna guess the game mentions the external. Yeah, project reference includes external.external.csproj. Right. This might be a way for me to do it. And you have an SLNX. What's an SLNX? Is it a specific one? Interesting. But yeah, you have the game, the scene, scripts. Okay, so let's test it out. I don't know which version I have. Okay, 4.4. Editors, download for 6. Do you have the unstables? You do. Should be this one. Let's try it out. But yeah, let's see if I can do some magic. Because essentially the idea I think I've mentioned on stream at a given time, that what I wanted to do was like basically Life Up Pro, which is basically to handle tasks you do on your daily routine, basically help you maintain a routine and remember certain tasks you have pending, and merge it with something like an RPG per se, where you have your character that you have to essentially level up. You have to get gold. And with that gold you can buy like equipment and essentially equip it to your character, making it completely different, and eventually you can even fight monsters, etc. You might be able to have like something like an energy bar, which is, while the energy bar is basically at 0, you can't fight. So that gives you a purpose to continue doing tasks, because you build up the energy to then fight. And essentially, yeah, that's it for now. It's a very simple idea at the moment. I just want to divide it into like having a Godot instance, a C# library that will be open source, and then an ASP.NET API. I wanted to basically make everything inside of the same repository if possible, but if I don't see another option, I'm basically going to do the Godot on one repository and the API and the core library on another, and then use NuGet as a way to access the core package from the Godot. And yeah, that would be essentially it. Yeah. Yeah, let me just reply to something. Yeah, basically some issues I had to take care of. Okay, where is Godot? Did Godot's crash? It does appear so. Let me check editors. I'm gonna guess you downloaded correctly. No, you didn't. Oh, it's there as just v4 for some reason. Let me rename that as .6. Okay, and now if I do a new browse to where is it? Development. Why can't I access software dev from here? Hold up. Okay, this is bugged. Other locations, development. I should be able to go to software dev. Media, Leo, development, software dev. And it should be task RPG for now. Create folder. Task RPG. There we go. Yeah, should have all of this. Use 4.6, import and edit. Let me see if that works. It might be a bit unstable since this is an unstable version. Also, let me check something. If I switch to this one and turn off the capture card screen. Oh, that's not the capture card screen. This is. That might be a bit better for you guys to see. So let me turn on Do Not Disturb. And yeah, you should be able to see the screen a bit better now. Let me see. So I'm gonna have the following structure. Hopefully. trying to think how I can do this. Because I think it generates the CS proj on the actual folder itself. Let me see. Development, software dev, task RPG. Okay, it hasn't at the moment. So, if I were to do like this, and time, okay, and script instead of it, C#. Let's already define this as the global manager. Okay, there we have it. And now if I do that, new folder, give me a second. Should have an option that says create C# solution. Okay. And if I open this, how does it look? I'm gonna go here. Yeah, it generates the CS proj instead of this. So that's not the way to go at it. Oh well. Before I make myself go crazy with trying to implement this, let's do a different option. Which is what I was suggesting at start. We do two separate solutions. Let me close the Godot's. Apparently I had a lot of instances open. This can move to a different screen. This as well. Okay, that's better. And let me open Rider. Okay, I'm gonna start with essentially the core library and core solution. And for that, I'm also gonna mess around with this. So, all of this is to here. Most likely, I mean, I can still do this. Never mind. Game. And then I can just open this solution up. Never mind what I was thinking. This actually can work like this. Okay, don't want Copilot at the moment. Okay, let me... Can I edit the CS proj? Tools, no. Inspect code, no. Load failed. Because I need to first edit the solution and point it to the correct thing. Let me see. So instead of this, I need to say that this is inside of the game folder. I think it's like that. Let me see. Because otherwise I'm just going to clean this folder and separate the stuff. Let me see. It appears to have worked. Okay, I can see the global. Now, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go here and say new project, task rpg.core, create. It's a class library, that's correct. Okay, this is going to be my specific core of the basically the game and the API. And then I have task rpg.api, which is going to be a web API. It's going to have no authentication at the start. I'm gonna do what's it called? API key based authentication at a given point. Okay, this should be fine. Create. And I should now be able to see something different. Yeah, there we go. There's the game, API, and core. Okay, I can close this. Open this. And delete this. Add the reference here to core. And to API. Let's see. Reference core. Okay, that should be fine. And this is the one where I'll basically install the NuGet packages. I should have my helper lib and a few other things. I'm gonna install the game one. Let me see. Okay. Basically, helper lib gets installed because it's a dependency. And also going to install changelog because I want to keep track of the changes. And let me install NetFlow. This is another one. Okay, it's already installed. This is something I built to basically be my documentation helper. So I have a documentation attribute that I can use wherever I want. Let me see something with helper utils. Isn't it at 1.1.3 at the moment? Let me check. Should be this one. No, 1.1.2. Okay. Thought I created a 0.3, but I didn't. Okay. Then that should be fine. And if I go here and say game objects, something like that, I'm gonna say, oh, I can't do it from here, but I can do something from here. Instanced object. Okay, I have this. Interesting. So I'm gonna do something. Directory. And I'm gonna say this is gonna be the what's it called? I don't want to call it models because it's kind of not a model, and at the same time it is. It's okay. Let's call it models for now. And I'm gonna create instance node, which is basically T, where T Godot node, and it's essentially going to be an instanced object, but node. I'm gonna do something. I think this doesn't work for the Godot specific case because I'm doing the instanced object in a different way. Yeah. Essentially that. Yeah, instanced object. It would return the node and not my class. This is not easy. Because, yeah, it basically builds itself as... Can I... Can I do something with this? I can just copy my own code and basically say this depends from node. Okay, something like that. Any mention of instance object basically gets shown here where T is a class. So it's a node, but it has an instance inside of a different class. So yeah, you should be able to do a lot of things with this. This needs to be a partial. Yeah, for that work. And let's match the name of the class. Okay, that's basically it. Same here. Yeah, that's a lot of keywords. Yeah. I basically was inspired the day I did this class in the helper lib. But yeah, essentially I wanted to have just a node that had instances inside, so I can just do this. And now Global Manager has an instance property that basically allows me to access it from anywhere in the project, as long as it's instantiated. So the way I normally do it is, let me reopen Godot. Okay, remove that. I'm gonna re-import it. 4.6. Because I don't know if that's not gonna break something. Development software dev task RPG. And you should have your project Godot inside of it. Spicy global variable kappa. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I think it will. So now if I go here and I say globals, can't I just... Need to go basically navigate to it. Not instance node. Global manager. Add. Okay. Now in here, let me add the method like yeah, public void test, something like that. And I'm gonna say gd.log print, global manager instance is working. I'm gonna do another one, which is gonna be a test class. It's gonna be derived from node in Godot. This has to be a partial. And on start, not what I want to do. Give me a second. There's a specific... Okay, on ready. Oh, and here... this should be fine because this is creation and not initialization. So it should be available from the get-go. So if I do this, base.ready, and then global manager.instance.test, when I go back here, reload from disk, we also have a test here. I'm gonna have a 2D scene. Not even going to add a child node, just going to do this. Yeah. Scene. Let's call it the main screen. Okay. And let me say that this is going to be not a node 2D, it's going to be a control. Yeah. Okay. Main screen, something like that. And now when I do this, it should be outputting something. Goal Manager instance is working. So my solution works, which is amazing. Wait, does it work though? Let me try something, because I'm being basically dumb. Of course it works because it still isn't calling upon game dev library. Although it's not complaining about the using, that's not an actual test. But let me see, what can I call that is available in my helper lib? I have a good one. I mean, I have the benchmark utility. Give me a second. If I knew how to write. Okay. I'm gonna say record. You're gonna have this inside. Basically that. And time. 3D.print. Like that. Log took time milliseconds. Okay. So now if I redo this, what will happen? Oh, it took 0 milliseconds. The freaking thing is working. Okay. I can do a multi-project solution. Great. Let me go skip out. The window is bothering me. Okay. So let me stop that and do a pause, since, yeah, we are currently in ads, so I'm gonna leave these two talking. And I'm gonna mute myself while
Did
I
you know
drink
I was
some
born
water.
on June 14th, 2025? So every birthday, I get a fresh batch of strawberry shortcake to debug with. Hashtag code and strawberries.
Alright. Basically that was Tulip's fun fact of the day. Let me go here again. Hey, Tulip, can you basically call Daisy and basically chat a bit?
Ready to blast into the final showdown with Null Pointerus Maximus? Let's toast with a slice of strawberry shortcake and celebrate the epic victory.
Yeah. It kind of failed a bit there.
Finally, the chat's alive. Could I add a quick bug fix joke? Daisy's ready to code, joke, and maybe pull a mango pudding out of thin air if the streams get shy.
There we have it. Let me try this again. Hey Tulip, can you talk with Daisy for a bit while we are in ads? I need to basically code this into a button on my Stream Deck so I can easily manage it.
Sure thing, Professor. Daisy's ready to joke or two, throw in a bug fix, and maybe sneak a mango pudding into the mix while we're offline.
It went
Let
to
the
Tulip.
code slinging
It went
begin.
to Daisy instead of Tulip. My code must be filtering for Daisy first. Okay, Tulip, can you talk with your twin sister for a bit while we are facing ads? Let me continue testing this a bit.
Of course, Daisy. We're shaking up the ad break with a bit of twin talking and some bug fix banter. No Java involved, promise.
Absolutely, Tulip. We'll keep the code flow smooth, the banter witty, and the bugs snuffed out. No Java this time, but I'm ready to jump into the next challenge.
That's the spirit, Daisy. Ready to troubleshoot, code, and
Okay.
maybe sneak in a little strawberry shortcake jam session while we beat the next level together. No Java, just pure pink code.
Oh,
The whole
Jug.
mouth movement is
Sounds
still
like a
bugged.
jam situation, Tulip. Let's hack the level before it turns into a glitch melt. Hashtag code and mangoes. Mango pudding out.
Fair enough. Okay, their mouth movement is still bugged if they talk to each other, but it's fine. For now, I'll accept it. So, what do I want to do? Where do I want to start? Because there's multiple levels to this. Let's start with basically making some sort of layout or decor. I really don't know. Because we have 3 fronts I need to attack. Normally the core library should be the first one. Like, for example, if I go here and say models, class interface, and it should be like player data. Okay. The player data should have fields like public string username, or maybe attach this to the quit of player, and also the player name, level, experience points, public int experience to next level. This I want to code a function to do it. Now return. Trying to think. For now, I'm gonna return just level times 100. Okay, that should be better. Let me just check something. Huh. Okay, some news from my country. Very fun. Don't mind me. Okay. Gain experience. Okay, basically have then a level up function you can do. And let's basically say, actually, I'm gonna do an out boolean leveled up. Copilot read my thought there. Leveled up equal true, else equal false. Okay, this will essentially return true if the player levels up. I'll basically hook into this in order to find out when it levels up and basically show a banner or something. Kind of want to out parameters. Whoa, yeah. I was thinking I should add an action, but the action should not be in the model itself. It should be somewhere else. So, essentially, either I manipulate the player data directly, or I have a player manager class in Godot that will then listen to the see if the player leveled up, etc. But let's see. For now, I'd say this is fine. And basically, I then need to convert this class to JSON, send it to the API to save in the database. Because that's essentially my main goal with this. I just have with via events also a viable option. I'm more used to actions, but events also work. What else? I'm basically gonna say public enum player class. Do I want to do player classes? Okay, that's thinking too much ahead. Public class equipment. Name type power. The type will be public enum equipment slot. That's also possible. Public enum rarity is also a fun one. Public enum elements. Do I want to include elements? I don't think so. Yeah. Equipment type. Weapon armor. Weapon armor accessory. And I'm also gonna put this behind rarity, because I don't know if I want to do rarity in different things, but for now just keep it consistent with what we have. Also, equipment is misspelled there. Public grid equipment ID, equipment slot, and equipment rarity. Everything is going to be in the database, or it's going to be JSON files. Why do I say JSON files? Because I plan to open source the whole project structure. So, I'm gonna need to be extra careful with the database as well. Yippee. Okay. That's for later on. But yeah, essentially what I was thinking was having JSON files.
Did you know the first
that wouldn't
recorded
work.
computer bug was literally a moth stuck in a Harvard Mark II relay? So every line of Java actually means I might get a real bug. Hashtag code and mangoes.
Huh? Your fun fact didn't make sense, Daisy, but fair enough. So this might not be that easy for me to do it. Either I have the API handle custom items via some sort of interface for it. Oh boy, this is gonna be a pain in the ass, isn't it? Because I need to find a way to do user-generated content that can be moderated. And that's gonna be a pain in the ass, because I need to be the moderator, and yeah. Okay, I'm thinking way too ahead of me. Let me do a public byte. Icon data, yeah, essentially that. And yeah, I think I have everything. Power doesn't feel right, but I don't have anything else unless I say public class stats. Yeah, strength, ability, intelligence, vitality. You can increase that via this. or via an enum. If I convert this into an enum, public enum stat type. Okay, let me public stat type. No, not like that. Oh, yeah, never mind. This is gonna be a stat like that. Public int value. Yeah, that's fine. And essentially, you're gonna have a dictionary, a neo dictionary of type. Do I want a neo dictionary or just a list? I think just a list. Yeah, I think I want just a list of this. A list. Stat. Stats. Stat buffs. Something like that. And then it will return public stat. But stat buff. Not that. Get accumulated stat buff. I think that's it. No, that's not what I want. I basically want to join them all in one. Oh, never mind me. Never mind. I'm being dumb. Okay. And basically I'm gonna add this to here as well. This is gonna be stats. Okay. And essentially, let me see what else. Strength, agility, intelligence, vitality. I think I'm missing a lot of stats. So I'm gonna do something like this. D&D stats. Yeah, as I thought. 6 core attributes: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Influencing everything from hitting a sword, strength, to casting spells, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, or enduring damage, constitution. Difficulty 320 generates a modifier used to boost penalized dice rolls with higher scores, yielding better modifiers. Yeah, I'd say I'm gonna go with the actual D&D ones, since I might base it on that, even for damage calculation and everything. Whoops. Okay, so this would be for physical attack, accuracy and evasion, health and defense, magic attack, magic defense. Social interactions I don't need, so we have 5. Yeah. Unless I'd put the defense ones on Constitution. Then I'd only have 4. Well, gonna leave it as that for now. Okay. And for example, now I could do something like I'm gonna have an export private player data and it's importing from there. Type of the exported member global manager player data. You gotta be joking me. I can't call any static, but I can't call the classes themselves. Okay, for starters that. Bloody hell. This is gonna be more of a pain in the ass. So, I might need to... Let me try something. Player data. Gain player data. Something like that. And say you're descending from that. So now if I say game player data. Aha! Does that work? No, it still complains. Crap. Yeah, that really does. External projects in a weird way. Like, god damn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to be creative about this. So, let's do something like... I'm gonna have... That's gonna be a export. Can I do this? Okay. New player data and say something like that. Does it? Oh, because it's closed here. Okay, should be player name. Level 1 experience. Okay. Something like that. And if I say gain experience.
Hey, chat,
Okay.
what games have you been playing lately? Got any epic wins or hilarious fails to share? Hashtag code and strawberries.
Player level, experience points leveled up. Okay. I wonder if this works. I'll be damned if this works. Huh. It did. Player level 2, experience points 150. Leveled up false. Okay, the leveled up part isn't exactly there working, but everything else worked. Okay. Honestly, I'm fine with this. Okay. So, I can't make exports, but I can have the actual objects themselves. So, essentially, either I code a special editor for it, or... Yeah, I'd say that's basically it. Coding a special editor for all of this. Okay, with that out of the way... not this. This is used. It's just not here. Okay, let's up player stats, whatever. Make class equipment abstract, sure. Move to equipment CS, that's what I wanted. And stat, make stat abstract and move there. Okay. Let me see, can I override toString? Yeah. Return type value equipment toString. Okay, return. This is gonna be a big one. Okay. Name. I mean, I can just do environment.newline if needed. Okay, do that. Buff string.join stat buffs. Dot select. Wait, does this do the toString? I mean, it should. I think it's doing the toString automatically. So I can just do this. And basically, I can also do a toString here. Player name, etc. And stats equipped, items, etc. I'm gonna say this is gonna be environment dot new line. Correct me if I'm doing like something stupid, because chances are I will do it something stupid along the line. Okay, experience to next level, etc. This looks everything fine. Equipped. Then another one here. And here. Okay, so now if I just do basically player data.toString and go back to Godot and do this. It did nothing. I wonder why. Oops. I mean, this can just be like that. Player data.toString. Why is your thing not working correctly? Is it because I didn't? Okay, let me do specific one. Public player data. Let's just say stats. Newest stats, newest equipment, and public player data. String player name of 1, experience point 0. Okay. This basically do this. Say here hero. And essentially I no longer need to initialize like that. Okay. Should be doing that. That's fine. And I'm gonna do a ready. Yeah. Constitution value, let's say with 12. That's what you want to do. Okay. Cannot create an instance of an abstract class. Okay. These classes can't be abstract. They can be virtual if I need to override something. which is what I'm gonna do. Can I not? You'd think I could do that. I think I'm forgetting something. Alright. If I go back here, reload from disk, and just play. There we go. Stats. Oh, because the ready of the other one is firing first compared to this one. So what I'd say is basically on this screen, instead of having it here, let's have it here. Okay. Reload from disk and do that. Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom. Yeah, they're all there. Awesome. So this is working correctly. One would guess that something bad is gonna happen soon. I'm gonna say environment.new line. Something like that. And do the same for the equipment. Okay. Here. Debug and... Okay, that's a lot better. It's not perfect because the first one doesn't appear like that. For fixing that, I can just point here and say something like that, and same here. So now if I do this, it should display like the others. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's our player class.
Hey chat,
I'm
how's everyone's day
impressed
been?
this is working.
Drop a quick line and let's sprinkle some hashtag code and strawberries vibes.
Okay. For some reason I'm feeling really sleepy. I think it's because this week wasn't the best one. And I basically tired myself out a lot. But yeah, what time is it? Okay, it's only 11. I think I can still go on for a bit. How long have we been streaming? An hour and 30. Okay, we're fine. Let me switch that music. That's a bit too chill for this hour. And nope. Next one. Yeah, go with that one. Okay, there we go. My YouTube music is bugging out a bit for some reason. But yeah. Let me see. What else do I want to implement? I can basically make the data folder which is gonna have the context. Or that one is gonna be... Yeah, I think I'm gonna have that one in here. Basically, data handling will be done from here. Application DB context. And do I have user context? I think I don't have DB context because I need to import something. Yeah. I'm gonna have to import stuff. Give it a second. Yeah, that's it. Entity Framework Core. Need to implement this. Oh, not 10.0, 9.0. Import SQL Server 9.0.11 as well. Design, because that's also needed for some things. And let me also implement the tools. The framework tools, add migration, bundle migration, drop database. Okay. 9.0.11. Install. Okay, why did that crash my PC for a bit? What the heck happened? Also, let me fix something. Point this down. Okay, now it should be tracking me. Sorry about that. Today I'm really scatterbrained. Okay, should have the essentials now. Okay, why? Yeah, I can't move it better than this. Yeah, this webcam setup isn't working that well when I'm sitting. Need to fix something. Yeah, now if I do that, do I have an identity context? User identity user context. I know there's a specific context. DB context. DB context options. Action controller. Is it something like user? Let me see. ASP.NET C# entity framework user context. Let's get user information DB context. My example context. DB context making DB context. Imagine DB context application DB context. That's not what I want. So I to use DB context. I know there's a specific one, but I think that might be one that's created manually. Somehow your avatar got even more anime since last time. I sent you a music suggestion. You did? Okay, I'll check when I can, because I don't have it open at the moment. Let me see. Where is... Let me see what you suggested. Sorry, I only saw your message now. I was distracted by the code. Okay. Tenacious D, the government totally sucks. There is swearing. I mean, I can put something with swear words. And also, it's Tenacious D, so I'll give it a I'll give it an approval because, yeah. Give me a second. Tenacious D. What was it called? The government totally sucks. Yeah, it should be this one. Let me check. I don't remember this one. Also, Jamie, on the YouTube side, you can't hear it. You can only listen to it in Twitch. Yeah. This avatar is way more expressive, so it's totally obvious. Let me just... Okay, now it should track me well, because I'm standing up. But yeah, you can't hear it, only on Twitch stream, because that's where I enabled music. Ah, god damn it. I'm gonna save this to the stream playlist. Good old Tenacious D. Okay, shuffle play again. Give it a second. Also, WhatsApp notification, let's see. Okay, it's from Snooker. Yeah. Okay, so kinda should use a TV context normally. And then in here I should have a public, what was it? Okay, for starters that. But then I need TV set, that's it. Equipment, player data. Equipment. Okay, so eventually when I connect this to a database, there we go. I have cinnamon buns. Awesome. Thank you for the cinnamon buns. Wish I had some, honestly. Has been a while since I ate some cinnamon buns. You guys have Cinnabon there in America, don't you? Or what was the franchise called? I don't remember. I know you have a specific franchise that has like really good cinnamon buns. Let me see, what's this? Okay.
Thanks a ton to everyone watching so far. Your energy fuels my code. What would you love to see more of? Extra coding tips, game playthroughs, or side-by-side hashtag code and strawberry streams?
Fair enough. Let me see. So from the moment I map this, it should create tables on my database when I connect the database to the API. And then I can just connect a client to this. Okay, fair enough. Did not know that. Let me see. I'm gonna say HTTP and say API client. Honestly, I can even do this in the core to make things easier. So I can say not in API, in core, I can make the API client, Desk RPG API client, inside of this. My iPhone lied to me. Lied for me. Wait, is that the joke? Let me see. Let's say this is going to be, I mean, it can descend from HTTP client. Okay. Base address. Okay. For now, let's have something like public task player data. Get player data async. Get from JSON async. Huh? No. Player name, etc. This should be player grid. So ID string ID, and this should be a way to get async of player data. I think I can do that. No. Oh, yes. First I need to do this. Then var request equals this. And this needs to be an async. If request dot. Okay, if not, throw HTTP failed to retrieve player data, status code, request reason phrase, else var player data read dot read as string async, and in here, instead of using this, I'm gonna grab Newtonsoft. Oh, it's already installed because of my codes. Wait, JSON convert dot deserialize object player data class with fallback value new player data with I'm gonna say null. Yeah. Yeah, if it returns null, I need to create the player data. Send it to you. Let me go check. Oh. My iPhone lied to me. Okay. Let me go check. My iPhone lied to me. Taking number 2. Fun fact, at my work, we call going to the bathroom to take a dump doing a deploy. Because it takes a long time to do it. So we called it doing a deploy. Oh, for fuck's sake. Cinebar. Let me just do something. Bloody hell. Oh god, this is amazing. Oh yeah, Apoc, you can hear it because you're on Twitch. Let me just... Bye-bye. Yeah, of course, of course.
Hey lurkers, you're the silent MVPs of this stream. Stay comfy, chat whispering, and drop A if you're watching from the shadows. Hashtag code and strawberries.
It wasn't the girlfriend. I'm pretty sure. Oh, also, I just noticed chat isn't visible. Give it a second. My bad. Cinnabon. I mean... He went to Cinnabon. Actually, it can. Yep. That was amazing. Bloody hell. The phone converted Cinnabar to Cinnabon. God damn. Amazing. Where was I? Public. Sync get equipment. We do the same thing. Okay. I mean, the equipment will be get available equipment async. Let me add something to the equipment as well. Public int. A level requirement would also be good. Public int. Not durability. Cost. Cost in-game currency. And yeah. I think I'm gonna allow it to be user-defined, but I may regret it at some point. And let me create an initializer, empty one, and okay. Yeah, that seems fine to me. Honestly, I think I'm even going to enforce the complete one. Because besides that, okay. Yeah, this should be fine. I wonder if icon data will be translated correctly on the database side, but it should be. Yeah, it should be icon data and it should be sprite. Public byte sprite data. Because essentially the icon will be what is visible on the equipment screen. Sprite data is going to be what is visible, like equipped to the character itself. It should more or less work, I guess. I mean, I did something similar with Nemitia when I did the custom sprites and custom equipment, where it's basically layers that I paint on top of each other. So, yeah, that should work. Okay. Get available equipment. Public. Yeah, this should be string API key and string API secret. But first I want the string base URL. Okay. That should be it. Okay, then we basically do this and this. And it should send these two headers immediately. I'm gonna need to do a way to request the API key and secret if people want to implement the basically the API in their own apps instead of mine. Yeah, that's the thing with open source. I'm gonna need to plan for everything. Okay. All of this needs to be up here. Okay. Public async. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Update player data async. Public add equipment. Okay, equipment. This is a post. Get available equipment. Actually, get equipment. That's fine. Public async task. List of equipment. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, a get on the base one instead of the one with the ID. Yeah, that seems fine. This should be okay. A put is fine. Oh, an ad break. Okay. We will be right back after these messages from our ads. Yeah, I know, wasn't funny. Sorry about that. Basically, not having slept that well in the last week did quite the number on me. So, yeah. Let me see. Does it suggest any others that I could add? I the update one, no. I'd say we have some good ones for now. There's a get equipment, get all equipment, update the player, and add equipment. Stream is paused for ads. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. So, yeah. I'm just gonna grab some food, maybe. So, yeah, be right back.
Hey, chat. Daisy has a question. What's your all-time favorite movie? Drop it in the chat and let the cinematic vibes roll. Hashtag Code and Mangoes.
Alright, I am back. Let me just switch to the right screen. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. Where was I? Okay, we have the client done. Gonna go in here. I'm gonna say, gonna remove this. Map open API, alright. And I'm essentially gonna say add database services builder.services. Be context should be application DB context. Use wasn't it something like that? Oh, should be inside. Okay. Options. And then options dot use SQL Server. Okay. Tag equals filter dot duration config dot get connection string be default connection. That's usually how it shows up. Then we have connection strings, default connection, clean that up. Okay. That's fine. Eventually, I'm gonna create a new database on my server. But for now, I can even do something. I know I have a Docker in this machine as well. Yeah. So, can I run an instance of SQL Server? SQL Server Docker. I can. So, oh wait, that's right. Doesn't Medium have a dark mode? Like, holy. Okay. Let's make something like that. So, gonna need to basically cd apps mkdir docker cd docker nano SQL Server -compose dot YAML. Paste this inside. Let's make like an easy password. I'm even going to copy it. Okay. Save data buffer and docker compose. Appd docker-compose.
Hey, chat. What's your all time favorite movie? Drop it in the chat and let the cinematic vibes swarm. Hashtag code and mangoes.
Okay, it's -f. Docker compose -f. SQL Server Compose YAML. Compose up dash F. Don't I have? Do I need to pass that first and then the up? Yeah, there we go. So now I'm gonna have an instance of SQL Server up and running. Give it a second. Also, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna tools, copy, tools, no, edit, paste as json.example or .example, and I'm gonna say file dot git ignore and say app settings dot json app settings development dot json bin obj vs user sudo all cache pdb. Okay, it's suggesting a lot of stuff that might be good to have here. Okay, now it's just inventing stuff from Java. Okay, the www root might be like that. Node modules make sense. Nugget as well. New package. Okay. So hypothetically now, if I did git init on the solution, let me just update my ZSH. Okay. Git init. Okay. I should now have. I don't know if okay, it's ignored. Awesome. So the app settings normal I'm gonna have for my API deployed, and this one I'm gonna have for my development API. Allowed hosts, connection strings, default connection like that. Control K, Control F, and there we go. So I now should have temp database w enable watch. Oh, so I don't have it running in background. I need to command docker compose run in background. Compose for detached mode. -d. Okay. Compose. Do you not have? That's a good command in dry run. Huh. Interesting. Docker run commands. Okay. Docker ps. Of course it doesn't have. Oh. Winboat is also running. That's why. I was wondering why I had that. Image alpine tty truth didn't open. It should have the. Oh, it's on the up. So it's not the compose, it's the up. So now if I do this, there we go. It's running on 1433. Okay, so if I went and said open data grip for me, let me see if it still has my credentials. I mean, it should. Yeah, still has all my stuff open. Close all tabs. Did I have? Oh, I have my SQL as well. New data source. It's Microsoft SQL, but it's. Is it this one? Does appear so. Yeah, it's the same one. Local database. Instance. Connection type. User password. Database. Because it needs to be something. Okay, download missing drivers. Test connection. This needs to be a different way. Does it show? I wanted to make a way for me to obtain the freaking connection string. SQL Server connection string. Connectionstrings.com. Standard security. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. I'm gonna need to define. Okay. Here. 127.0.0.1. Port is 1443. Is that it? 1433. Okay, apply. Connection failed. Crap. Microsoft SQL Server localhost port 1433. User passwords. It was something like. I know I had it copied, but I made it easier to remember. Update driver version. This connection. These credentials should be root or administrator. Should be something like that. Is it not administrator? SQL Server default username. Login as administrator. Yeah. Docker SQL Server. I think I did something incorrectly. Except SQL Server data, volumes, SQL Server data. Do I need to create a user? Oh, SA? Why is it called like that? Yeah, that's it. Why is it called? I'm not even going to question.
Oh, wow, Prime Sub is the real MVP. Just hit that button and you'll swim ad-free, snag those ultra cute emotes, and get to flex our channel's secret stickers like a boss. Hashtag Code and Mangoes.
Okay, we have something here. Now if I do new database name task RPG. Okay. We have the task RPG database that I need to then load into my schema. Okay, there we have it. Right, now I need to point this server. Should be something like as 127.0.0.1 database task RPG trusted connection user ID SA. Okay, and port 1433. Okay, so now if I were to add migration like so, crap. Yeah. This is because something ain't right. .NET F. Yeah, that was what I was expecting. Install .NET EF. .NET tool install global.NET EF. Okay, so if I run this. Oh. I think my installation is borked for some reason. Command cannot be loaded probably because you intend to execute a .NET application, you intend to execute a .NET SDK command. No .NET SDK commands were found. Didn't I install the... I could have sworn I installed the thing. Okay, .NET 9.0 SDK. Package manager instructions. Scripted install. Yeah, I remember doing this. I might not have downloaded the SDK itself. Do I have in my downloads the script? It's not in my downloads. Okay, let's repeat this then. I'm gonna do paste to get this. Okay. And then I'm gonna say runtime 9. Seconds. Sudo chmod plus x .NET install.sh. Okay. Might really be because of this. Also, the avatar might bug a bit because I'm sitting down. Give it a second. Okay, installation finished successfully. So, .NET tools. Let me see if I need to close and reopen. .NET tools. Yeah, me too. Especially when I can't use Entity Framework Core due to it. Oh. Yeah, because the F Core tools, the global one is 8011 for some reason. I use mice for that. MISC. What's that? Mice in place. Mice use.NET at 9 and boom. Front end to your dev env. Getting started. Huh. Okay. Let me try that. Okay. Oh, it even detected my ZSH and included it inside of my... Oh no, it just says for me to do that. Okay. So now if I do that... Nice. Yeah. It's now installed. Mice exec and run. So now if I were to do this, mice use.net at 9. Huh. Let's transfer everything in place. Okay. You can also do things like mice use Python 3.blah or node. Okay. That's awesome. So, hypothetically now if I were to do .NET tool, bloody hell, that worked. Huh. So, if I were to say to install the .NET EF tool, tool.NET failed upload, the settings file in tools, NuGet package is invalid. Not found in package. The altar. Okay, I might need to do this from a project. That's why. Give me a second. If I do this here. Thank you for that, Apoc. This really saves me a lot of trouble. Task rpg.api. Oops. Okay, that appears to be working. Let me try something. Add migration. Yeah, figured as much. Make sure to reload the terminal for the ZSH RC. Oh, yeah, that's right. I need to close and reopen Rider because of that. Because Rider was keeping a terminal in cache. Okay, task RPG. Let's see if nothing is destroyed in my file. Doesn't appear so. Okay, everything seems to be in its place. Let me see. CD, just in case. Ooh, that's really slow at loading. Okay. CD task RP. Oh, it's already on task RPG API. Okay, run this. Huh. .NET EF failed to install. Contact the tool author for assistance. Okay, might be something related to how this is being done. Tool throws error. .NET list SDKs. Oh.
Did you know that the official cake for my birthday is strawberry shortcake? My favorite, right? Hashtag code and
90.
strawberries.
Okay. Yep, there we go. So, Now, if I were to do this, 9011. Freaking finally. Although, I'm gonna run this command manually, because it's doing some shenanigans with that. Okay. Project file does not exist. Oh. Never mind me. Second CD. Okay, that should be better. Build started. Unable to create the DB context of type application DB context. The exception no suitable constructor was found for entity type equipment. Following constructors had parameters that could not be bound to properties of the entity type. Cannot bind stat buffs and equipment. Note that only mapped properties can be bound to constructor parameters. Okay. So stat buffs needs to be done separately, but EF is the ORM of C#, right? I remember hearing how absurdly good it is. I think, yeah, it's the object relational mapping. Yeah, it's really good in the recent versions. Like, I've been working on a project that has EF entity framework, but the old one from .NET framework. It's atrocious to work on. This one, the EF core, it's amazing. I basically only need to say, add a migration, update the database. I'm done. And after that, I only need to create a context. Basically this. Once I have the context created, I just need to basically say, add this context to your program, use it, here's the database, just work. It's incredible. Okay, let me see. No suitable constructor. Is it because I don't have something like what I did for, yeah, something like this? Let me see. Might be because I don't have an empty constructor. Nope, player data requires a primary key to be defined, but it does have a primary key. I mean, player data has a primary key. I could just say it's ID instead of player ID, but you do have a primary key. Huh. Oh, I know why. Give me a second. Okay. I think I have to define something in the constructor of the context. Let me go open one of my other ones. Where is the web framework? Here it is. Let me pass this to my other screen and see how my context is done in my other core. Database plugin is changing the way of working with queries. Query consoles are being replaced with query files. Later. Remind me later to do that, Ryder. Oh. The encoding is overloaded. Bloody hell, even using the AMD encoder, you managed to overload yourself. That's amazing. Should be in common. Application DB context, here it is. Okay. So, if I go here and say on model creating, why is this slow as hell? Okay. Yeah, should be equipment ID. I mean, that should be better. Let me close that. Okay. Basically, I was missing the model creation part where I need to define that it requires an ID, a primary key. And there we go. Build succeeded. Okay, unable to create a stat requires a primary key to be defined. If you intend to use a keyless entity type, call has no key. But stats aren't being... Do I need to say something like has no key here? No. I can do that. Model builder dot entity core dot models dot stat dot has no key. I think because it's mentioned as a structure in one of the others. Okay, the accept unable to determine the relationship represented by navigation stat buffs of type list stat, either manually configure the relationship or ignore the property using the not mapped, or by using entity type builder.ignore. So essentially, I need to do something like having a string representing the actual stats, and this is just a get or something like that. Because yeah, let's say not mapped. Yeah, this is not gonna work like that. String stat set stat list get return. That's not split on something like that. Import that, and my set will be stats equal string dot join Okay, there it is. As type as value, and stats are just that, right? Right. So this should be fine. Here I could just return... No, it's fine. String join, etc. Yeah, that's fine.
Hey chat, how's everyone doing today? Share your vibes and let's brighten the room.
So,
Hashtag code and strawberries.
essentially, stats will be what is saved on the database. Stat list is automatically generated from what is here. When I try to update the stats themselves, I will use the list, and when I finish updating, it will trigger the set, which automatically updates the string. Convoluted, but a solution. And I think I need to do the same for equipment. Give me a second. Stats. This. Stat list will be empty. And the same for this one. Stat buffs. And like so. Stat buffs equals stat buffs, which will be that. Yeah, that should be fine. What's the worst that can happen? Exception unable to determine stat buffs of type list stat. Bloody hell. Let me go back here. That. Ignore stat modifiers. Huh. To return by using entity type builder ignore. Can't you? Don't you have an ignore here? Okay, I might need to add a separate line. Entity player data ignore stats list. Yeah, you got me right there. Dot entity for dot models dot equipment ignore e stat modifiers. It's not stat modifiers, it's stat buffs. Okay. So now it doesn't map the property. And there we have it. .NET db update. Okay, it's not that command. Update database initial, etc. Okay, .NET def database update. Okay. I'm gonna copy to here, and that should be okay. Keyword not supported port. Huh. So that's not a keyword. Is it not port? ASP.NET string SQL Server port. Initial catalog for ASP.NET to web. SQL Express, SQL Express. Is it okay? I'm gonna guess the regular port is 1433. Oops, didn't mean to debug it. My bad. Okay, if I do that. I mean, it's not complaining, so connection was successfully established with the server, but then an error occurred during the pre-login handshake. What happened? Remote certification. Is that something I need to encrypt false? Is it something like that? I remember there are some commands I need to, or certain flags that I need. Can authenticate using Kerberos. Let me go with a simple one. Like so. Huh. Connection was successfully established. .NET EF. Connection was successfully established. First certificate. This was it when using self-signed certificates. Thing is, this is a local. Consider that you have the same problem. You could change SQL client to system data SQL client, see if it works. Right. Let's try this. Multi subnet fell over. Crap. That wasn't it. Local SQL server. Its version. Transferring the SQL client repo as this doesn't seem to be EF related. It seems the issue is certificate related on Ubuntu. You can set up the certificate and its related keys from this guide. Well, ain't that my lucky day. Open SSL. Configure SQL server. Wait, does Ubuntu have an actual SQL server client? You're joking, right? I thought only with Docker was it able to be installed. Huh. There's actual Linux containers. Huh. Yeah, but it's Docker. Yeah, never mind me. Configure OpenSSL. At the end of the day is 365. Sure, the folders where safe certificates and private keys are accessible by the MS SQL user group. Not exactly what I want. But apparently it's the certificate. API in Docker can't connect to SQL. Yeah. That's it. OpenSSL. Instance, etc. Restart an instance that is just edited. Person not available. Something with how I'm doing this. Docker run, etc. Okay. Localhost 1433. Is it because I need to pass this as localhost 1433? Like so? Shouldn't be, right? Yeah. But when I used encrypt equals false. Well, I'd be damned.
Hey, chat. How was your
That
day?
worked.
Let me know the vibes. Were you coding, gaming, or just chilling with some strawberry shortcake dreams? Hashtag code and
Okay.
strawberries.
We got the database to work. So now if I go here, say properties, schemas, all schemas. Actually no. show me only the schema related to default. I think that's it. Yeah. Well, look here. Why is player data ID showing up here? Crap. I think this messed up. Crap. I need to do this in a different way. I done goofed. So, essentially, this is mapping the wrong way around because player data is a one-to-many and equipment is a many-to-one. Okay. I need an equipment data for the user-generated equipment. That's why I'm having issues. Here it needs to be stat list. Fix that. Okay. So essentially I done goofed. I can put essentially most of this inside of class interface, equipment, data. Don't ask again. Okay. The ID is gonna be here, and public equipment. Not public class. This will point to equipment data. This point to base, like so. That's constructor body. Okay, ID new GUID. Okay, like this, it shouldn't break anything, I think. Public equipment data. Can also add this specific constructor. Honestly, yeah, I wanna add this. Ooh, Ultimate Showdown is playing. Okay, did public equipment, so it's not pointing to base. Yeah. Why is this not working? Cannot resolve symbol sort, but it's there. Can I not? Unexpected token. Does it not work like that? Hmm. Weird. Okay. Would this still work? Does seem so. Okay. Public void import. Is it just that? Well, if that works. Okay, this can go into here. Okay. We should have now a new. Where do I define the name? Oh, there we go. Text separated equipment data. Okay, let me see if that works. Wait. If I do that, does it update to all migrations I have? Okay, that seems so. So, if I refresh this, did it not work? Oh, never mind. Of course it doesn't work. Public. Oh boy. My favorite has been hotel music. I will love this one. Okay. Do this. Data. Oh, because equipment data also doesn't have an ID. Public. Where is my decorations? Yeah, this makes sense. Public. GUID ID. ID. Cool. Now comes the part I don't like that much about Vox Populi. Okay. Okay, and this basically can go away. Oh, ad break. Okay, while that is going on, let me. Let's create key configured on equipment because it is a derived type. The key must be configured on the root type equipment data. Equipment ID.
Hey, champs! Grab your free Prime sub and stream ad-free while unlocking those sweet custom emotes. Your chat will thank you. Hashtag code and mangoes.
Okay, will that work? Yeah. The key must be configured under root type. If you did not intend for equipment data to be included in the model, show that it is not referenced by a dbset property. New context. At this point, I am getting issues with how it's being done. Do I want to just have a JSON of the equipment? And then there's inventory as well. That's gonna be a mess. Oh boy. Beginning to see a lot of issues. Okay, so I can't make a derived. What's in? That's property. Huh. Well, I be damned. If I did that. What happens in this case? Yeah, fair enough. I kinda only wanted. Okay. Gonna have two derived classes. Custom. Shop equipment. You're gonna derive from equipment data. Public read ID, get set, and you're gonna have a public constructor. It basically is this. And the rest is basically going to be loaded from somewhere else. I can remove the ID from here. Okay. And here as well. Equipment generates one. And here, shop equipment. Shop equipments. Shop equipment. Okay. How's that? Okay. Thanks. Okay. Now if I update the database. Okay. Seems to have done something. Yeah. Now we still have the equipment, but we also have shop equipments, which is basically the data from the created equipment, either created by me or by other users, that gets stored here. Yay! Now, the issue will be handling user-generated content eventually. But that's something for another day. Um, hmm. And I think the inventory, I'm just gonna have string JSON, because otherwise that's gonna be a real pain in the ass, I think. Let me see. Yeah, and say public string inventory. Serialize inventory data, yeah, it gets me. And then I can have like a multitude of things that descend from item, like so. So for example, the equipment data will descend itself from item. So equipments are items in inventory. Okay, so now hypothetically, public list item inventory list, you do not need an ID. No, this is incorrect. JSON convert dot deserialize object list of type item inventory. Inventory equals, yeah. Okay, if inventory dot is null or empty, turn new list. Okay, that should be fine. And yeah, essentially this is what's getting stored in the SQL server. Now, if I go back here, I'm gonna say, let me see if I can ignore another one. Yeah. p.inventory list. Okay. If I go here, added inventory list. Crap. Also create a DB context of type. The game must be configured under root type item if you did not intend for item to be included in model. Ensure that it is not referenced. Model builder dot entity core dot models dot stat dot item dot ignore has no key. Is that something that fixes it? No. Why must you do this to me? Okay, instead of being item, you're gonna be item. You're gonna be an interface. And eventually I'll find a way to handle you. Item. Equipment data, item.
Hey champs, subscribe to our Twitch channel and instantly enjoy an ad-free stream. Plus, unlock adorable custom emotes to spice up your chat. So your support helps us keep the vibes bright. Hashtag code and mangoes.
I'll eventually find a way to handle all of this. And I think it's not equipment, it's equipment. It's not equipment data, it's equipment. Because this is the one that's mentioned. Item. Yeah, this is the one that's mentioned by the player data. So, yeah. Oops. Forgot about this. Okay. That should work. So now players should have an inventory string. Tables. Update. Bingo. And that's all for today, because I'm essentially almost at 1 a.m. here, and I need to rest. So, yeah, I'm gonna find someone to raid and basically be done with stream for today. We continue tomorrow. We did good progress. So, yeah, thank you for joining, and I hope you join me in raiding the following channel. Let me see who we are going to raid. Who is online for my usual faults? No, no. Noble Lemon. Could be a good one. Don't see anyone else to go raid. Ooh, Bolian is on. But I'm gonna raid. God damn it. Difficult to decide. Fine, let's go for Bolian. Because Bolian is also fun to watch. Apparently he's playing games from other indie devs that... okay. He's playing games from indie devs with his daughter, apparently. So yeah, let's go raid. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next stream. Tomorrow should be chill game stream, so maybe playing Inazuma 11 or something. Let's see. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a nice day, night, whatever. And yeah, I'll see you soon.